Hi, this is your how-to for the Chip Chip Hooray make and take. So some of it's going to be pretty self-explanatory and some parts are not. So I wanted to go over the parts that need a little bit of explanation. All right, so our make and takes are a little bit different this time. I'm going to use my Versamat here because there's a little bit of measuring involved in this one. So you're going to take your basket. You're going to grab yourself a baggie with all of your supplies in it, except for the card base. So that will be in your little bucket. So take one. Please make sure that everybody can use one. You're going to have your card base and an envelope. These are all going to be in here. I'm doing this a week before. You're going to have, this is part of our Versamat. So you will actually get to touch and feel this one. This is kind of nice to use for a background for gluing on. So you'll be able to use that. Now all of these things from now on have to go back. You'll have a piece of foam that you'll get to use. I'm using my Versamat, so if you're taking this to your spot and you have a Versamat, that's great. The foam will go under your stamp. Here's the actual stamp that we're going to be using, and a couple of blocks. These are our sampler blocks that you get, and then our mocha, and then we also have some of our shimmer iridescent star or flower. So that's what you're going to find in your basket for this particular one. So let's go ahead and make this. You may or may not also have a stamp chamois in there. I'm going to try and make sure everyone has one, but I'm not sure. So hopefully you'll have that in there. So here are our bag of goodies. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out our pieces. We're going to assemble on our card too. So what I'm going to do is I have a, this is part of our cookie one. So this is all like a recipe on the front. So this is going to be your front. This is going to be your top part, this little, the polka dot side. So we're going to start and we're going to measure down. I think it's 2¼ inches. So I'm going to grab my pencil here, and on this one I'm going to measure 2½ inches down, or 2¼ inches on this side. So 2¼ and I'm going to put a little mark there. You guys are going to have to provide your own trimmer. I'm not going to have a trimmer there, but you can do it. So what I'm going to do is line up. This one cuts exactly on the edge of that rail. So I'm going to line up that little tick mark I made to the corner, and I'm going to cut, and I'm going to have this little piece of scrap. So that is scrap. All right. You're going to also provide your own adhesive. This is where this mat comes in really handy. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. I'm going to add, start my card base. So you want to fold with the mountain in. So that's that little raised in. So I'm going to go ahead, fold that. And you can take, if you have a bone folder, a lot of times I just use the handle of my scissors to score it down. So this is going to be, this open this way. So I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive to the back. So you're going to go 2½ inches down. For this cut. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this one, or 2¼ I'm sorry, not 2½. It'd be fine if you did 2¼ 2½, and just adhere that down. Our next little piece is, we've got a stripe and then a grid pattern. So I'm going to adhere this grid kind of in the center, maybe a little bit off to the side, off to my left side. You're going to see that some of these papers have different, like this one had a different side. This particular paper here is our bulk that we have as close to my heart, makers. We can order that, and this is what you would find in your pack. Then we've got the grid. I'm going to attach these off just straight to the paper. I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch and adhere. Okay, so we've created the base of our card. That was the most difficult thing we had to do there. Inside the rest of the bag, we've got some parts and pieces of our shaker card and a couple of cookies, as well as some embellishments. If you want to keep the bag, that's fine. If you want to return it, you can put it, just send it back to me. So we're going to open up, these will probably already be on the blocks, but this is the one that we're going to use. We're going to use Chip Chip Hooray. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on my block. I'm sure it's already seasoned. I know it's seasoned because I've used it. And then the little polka dots, we're also going to put those on a block. So that's really all we're going to need. They should be, unless you're the first person or somebody put them away, you probably won't need to put them on the blocks, but you have that option. All right, we're going to open up our mocha ink. Yes, it opens that easy. I'm going to go ahead and put my foam piece down. These little guys are part of the die cuts. They're cookies, so what we're going to do is just stamp in our mocha ink and go right on them. And now we've made them chocolate chip cookies. You're just going to clean off with your stamp chamois. You guys can keep these on the blocks because the next person will do that. So then we have, this is going to be the makings of our shaker. You can choose to use the lighter side or the darker side. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use the lighter side on this one. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink my saying, Chip Chip Hooray. And I'm going to try and center this as very best I can. Maybe a little bit towards the top. And I'm just going to rub it over with my fingers. I'm not going to rock it or anything. Clean it off with my stamp chamois so it's ready for the next person. I'm done with my ink. So those things can go back into our container. So our ink can go back in. Our stamp can go back in. Our stamp chamois can actually go back in. And our foam can go back in. So now I've just got a few pieces left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the shaker for this. So you can see that there's the shaker. What I'm going to do is there's all kinds of foam inside. So what I want to do is I want to peel this circle off, leaving those remaining on there. So, and these are super, super sticky, guys. Very sticky. So that's kind of why I'm going to use this, so that if it is on there, it will come right off. I'm going to go ahead and put it right on my circle. Just like that. And I'd suggest keeping the cover on this so they don't dump. We're going to go ahead. One side of this has a little protective coating on it. I'm never sure which side it is. I think this is it. Yep. So you're going to just peel that off. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple of pinches. We don't want to overload it. We just want to add a little bit of these flowers in. So we're going to go ahead and just add a couple little pinches there. And they're very staticky. So these are our craft jars. Love them. They work really great for this stuff. Okay, so now here's where you're going to want a scissors or something to hold this down. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take off this top layer here. I want to hold it so I don't pop it and go all over. Now I'm going to take my clear acetate And I'm just going to lay it, and they're going to pop up. You watch. Oh, they didn't. And lay it right over top. So now I've created my shaker. Pretty cool, huh? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add this right to my card first. And I'm going to use my regular glue. I'm going to put a little bit on it because it's a little heavier than most pieces. And I'm just going to put Chip Chip Hooray right on here. Okay. Now, you have all of these foam dots. These are yours. Take them, use them. So that's one of the really cool things about these. With this one, I'm going to just use my regular adhesive, and I'm going to go around the hole. You could also use a liquid glue. And I'm going to attach it right over top. So you can see I use the light side here, I use the dark side. So there's a little bit of a difference. I've got my chocolate chips in here. I'm going to add a little adhesive to the back of them. And I'm just going to add, or my chocolate chip cookies, I should say. And I can add those if I would want. I could put a little pop dot underneath them. And then I've got some cool adhesive little gems here. So I'm going to just put those alongside on my card. You'll have anywhere from 3 to 6 of them. It was whatever kind of made a good stopping point. So there we have it. There's our card, our shaker card. So those are your 10 minutes of quick how to do. I hope you enjoyed. Please put everything back into the basket and return the basket back to the make and take table information if you're watching virtually and you're watching these. I will try and post the recipe for this, and we'll see you soon.